Hey, David, just kind of assess your linebacking crew. You haven't had OC brothers the last few weeks, but talk about maybe how Clyde's performed and how you think he's played.
Well, yeah, we've had, at different times, different guys out, and that's why we wanted to build some depth. And so Clyde, got a lot more playing time. He's really played the most the last 2 weeks of any games, that he's ever played. So I thought he played well against Maryland and then stepped in and played a lot against Nebraska and has really come a long way. And I think he's playing his best football overall. And we'll see how that continues.
What's Jacob Wahlberg meant to the group?
A lot. Like I said, man, I went into it at the beginning of the year, and I told him, even though we had a couple old guys in KD and Sami, I said, look, this has got to be a group, a unit effort. We've got to develop depth, and everybody's got to be ready to play, and everybody's going to play. That's the way you kind of want it, because you know what a grind a 12-game Big Ten season is going to be. And honestly, it's worked out, very much that way, that guys like Jacob Wahlberg, their opportunity came, and they've proven, that they can step up and make plays and help us win games. And I think, those guys got a lot to be proud of.
What have you seen from Wisconsin on tape?
They're Wisconsin like they normally are. They're going to run the ball, and really good tailback, really good offensive line. And it'll be a challenge for us to be able to stop the run the way we've been doing it. But, that's why you play the game.
How pleased are you with the run defense overall, but also how the linebackers have contributed to that?
Well, first of all, the run defense, it all starts up front, and we got the best D-line coach in America, and it shows when you turn the video on. We've got a lot of depth, and those guys have played really well. They make it a lot easier to play linebacker. And I think our guys have been solid. I think, we've really understood our run fits, but, Coach English started that literally back in February. We started on these run fits and making sure that we were going to be better at stopping the run than we were last year. And those guys have worked really hard at it, and it's, we're seeing some of the benefits. But we got some good run teams coming up that, nobody cares what you did after whatever it is, 7 games or 8 games. You got to do it for 12 games.
Right. Just what did the interception for Clyde, what did that do for his confidence, just his demeanor, and make a play like that?
A lot. It was fun to see. I know he was excited about it. The guys were all excited for him. So that's fun when a guy gets his first interception. And I think, you've seen his confidence just growing week after week. I mean, like literally yesterday, he did some things in practice that, we've been wanting to be more consistent at. And so, it's like anything. He's growing up, and this is the most football he's played. And when you do that, you just continue to get better as long as you stay focused and keep working at it, and that's what he's been doing.
How's Kieran and Sami holding up?
Really well. Sami had to come out last week, but I think he's going to be okay. But I thought the time that he was in the game, he played as well as he's played all year. And I thought KD came back off of his injury, and I guess it was the Maryland game, and then this Nebraska game. I thought he stringed together, probably, his best couple games, or the amount of reps that it was. It wasn't full games, but probably about 40, 50 reps, and I think he's playing really well.
I always see before the game, David, you always take a little walk around the field. Is that a ritual you started a long time ago? What's your goal there, and how are you doing that?
I only do that when we're on the road because I'm getting a little extra exercise, so I'm just walking. There's absolutely nothing to it other than getting some steps and burning some calories.
Steps. And
that's all.
Thought maybe you're in. I thought you were in deep thought, running over.
No, there's not a lot going on up there at that time. Just letting it all clear.
It's game time by then.
Yeah, right, exactly. Not a whole lot I got to think about.
Earlier in your Jeff was a little disappointed. Linebackers haven't been able to get home a lot on the blitzes.
Yes.
Just how's that coming?
Hadn't gotten any better. We still haven't got. Literally, it's funny you asked that, because I was just going, man, none of our linebackers. We don't have any sacks in our room. Right. And it's something, some weeks you do a little bit more than others. It just depends on what the plan is, but those opportunities will come. We've worked on it consistently, ever since then. It was really the Syracuse game that we had it in the plan, and we just we didn't get there the way we wanted to. But those things come when you just, once again, consistency and just keep repping it, and those guys will get there.
Do you measure it by sacks, or Or how do you measure maybe the pressure that your group?
Yeah, that's good. That's a great point. I think Mark Hagan does a better job of looking at all that than all of us, because obviously that's a big part of what they do on every down or every passing down. And so, you look at pressures and did you affect the throw? Like we would consider it a ball disruption if the quarterback couldn't follow through because you rushed, walk the guy back into his lap, or you're in his face and he can't follow through. So stuff like that you look at and say, hey, it's not always going to be a sack, but you're going to affect an incompletion.